Sige po.
Okay, so the market selection process should be the result in prioritized market portfolio. So a prioritized list of markets worthy of investment and pursuit. So the market selected should hold the growth potential needed to achieve the desired revenue objective. So to start to discuss with us the selecting markets, please let us all welcome Madam De La Cruz. Take it away, Madam.
Hello, good morning, everyone. In Module 5, it tackles about selecting markets. In this module, we will be able to define, differentiate, and learn the approach on how to select markets and if these markets we selected is worthy of our investment and pursuit for our businesses. Let us first understand what is a market. A market is a setup where two or more parties engage in exchange of goods, services, and information. Ideally, a market is a place where two or more parties are involved in buying and selling. The two parties involved in a transaction are called the seller and the buyer. The seller sells goods and services to the buyer in exchange of money. And there has to be more than one buyer and seller for the market to be competitive, of course. Next, market generally fall into broad types, namely consumer markets and the business markets. A consumer markets consist of individuals or household who purchase goods for private consumption and do not intend to resell those goods for a profit. Generally, they buy goods for consumption only, while a business market consists of individuals or organizations who purchase goods for three main purposes. First, for resale. Second, for use in production other goods or services. And last, for general use in business operation. These are the two conditions of markets, monopoly and monopsony. In a monopoly market, the seller decides the price of the product or services and can change it on his own. While in monopsony, the seller can exert his control on the sellers. The buyer has the upper edge over the sellers. Next, these are the types of markets: physical markets, non-physical markets, virtual markets, auction markets, markets for intermediate goods, black markets, knowledge market, and financial markets. In financial markets, it has stock markets, bond market, foreign exchange market, and predictive markets. Let's proceed to the main topic. What is market selection? Market selection is the process of deciding which markets to invest in and pursuing. One of the major criteria to keep in mind while doing a market selection is the growth potential of the market. Of course, you will consider what is the potential for a company's revenue to grow by investing in a particular market. And some of the questions on how to determine the market selections are: where are they? Who are they? Why do they buy? And how do they buy? And another thing to keep in mind for market selections are the marketing objectives. What is your ultimate goal of entering a particular market? Let's say your specific goal is to increase in revenue by 5%. It is also important to determine or consider the parameters other than growth potentials like market size of the market selections. Market size is directly proportional to two factors: the number of sellers and the buyers, and the total money involved annually. An attractive market has the following characteristics. It should be sizable enough to be profitable given your operating cost. It should be growing. It's not, and of course, it's not already swamped by the competitors, or you have found a way to stand out in the crowd. Either it's accessible or you can find a way to reach. Then, you have the resource to compete in it. Ito yung capital. Then, it should be fits in with your firm's objectives and mission. That's why first thing to keep in mind when putting up a business, alam mo kung ano yung ultimate goal mo. Steps in market selection process can be done in the following steps. First, you should determine the objectives or goals of market selection. Second, determine the parameters to be used for market selection. Third, do a preliminary screening of the market. Fourth, do a detailed investigation in its screening and shortlist the best fit. And fifth, evaluate the shortlisted markets and select one or two. Note that the parameters of market selection can either be firm related, either it can be dependent highly on your company say about your business strategy or objectives, or it can be the given market environment. Let's say that the demand, the supply, the competition, the distribution channels available, etc. Or some general environmental factors that play a key role in selecting a market. For example, the economic policy of the country, the business regulation, the currency stability, the ethnic and political factors, infrastructures, and so on. STP approach. STP stands for segmentation, targeting, and positioning. STP marketing is a three-step model that examines your products or services as well as the way you communicate their benefits to specific customer segments. And what are the differences among the three? It is the responsibility of the markets to create awareness of their products among the customers. It is essential for individuals to be aware of the brand's existence, and organizations can afford to have similar strategies for product promotion amongst all individuals. Not every individual has the same requirements and demand. The marketer thus came with the concept of STP, segmentation, targeting, and positioning. The first step in the process of product promotion is segmentation. What is market segmentation? It refers to the process of creation of small groups by, by segmenting it within a large market to bring together customers who have similar requirements, needs, and interests. It is the division of broad market into small segments comprising of individuals who think on the same lines, and show inclination towards similar products and brands. In simpler words, market segmentation can also be called as grouping. Market segmentation has four basic types, namely geographic segmentation, demographic, psychographic, and behavioral segmentation. In demographic segmentation, it identifies potential customers by criteria such as age, gender, family size, family life cycle, income, level of education, religion, race, social class, and nationality. It's the most common used market segment because these variables are easy to identify and measure. It might be the first thing people think of when they hear market segmentation. This is perhaps the most straightforward way of defining customers group, but it remains powerful. Demographic segmentations look at identifiable non-character traits. For example, demographic segmentation might target potential customers based on their income. So your marketing budget isn't wasted directly. You're messaging at people who likely can't afford your product. Next, psychographic segmentation. It answered the question, the why. In demographic segmentation, it answers the question, the who, or who should be your target market, while the psychographic segmentation, it answered the questions, the why. Psychographic segmentation is the hardest segment to analyze because it is tied to two fairly private variables, the personality profiles and the lifestyle profiles of the market. Psychographic segmentation asks such questions as, does this customer live in moment or does he keep an eye on the future? Or is she an extrovert or an introvert? Or how politically active is he? Or it can be, what are her interests and hobbies? Psychographic segmentation is focused on your customers' personalities and interests. Here might be look at customers and define them by their personality traits, by their hobbies, by their life goals, values, beliefs, and lifestyle. Compared to demographic segmentation, this can be a harder set to identify. Good search is vital, and when done well, psychographic segmentation can allow to incredibly effective marketing that customers will feel speaks to them on much more personal level. Next is the geographic segmentation. By the word geographic, it answers the question, the where. In geographic segmentation, it divides customers into segments based on where they live. You can go as deep as you want here by dividing people by nation, by state, by region, by country, by city, or by neighbor. It recognizes that people are influenced by the places they live at work. These differences may be cultural. By comparison, geographic segmentation is often one of the easiest to identify, grouping customers with regards to their physical location. This can be defined in any ways. And last, the behavioral segmentation. It is based on consumers' attitudes toward a product and how they use, and it is possibly the most useful of all e-commerce businesses. As with psychographic segmentation, it requires a little data to be truly effective, but much of this can be gathered via website itself. Here, we can group customers with regards to their spending habits, purchasing habits, browsing habits, interactions with the brand, loyalty to the brand, previous product ratings. And next, before we proceed to the second step of SPP approach, let us first examine the relationship of the following: the total available market, the served available market, SAM, and the target market. Note that the approaches to segmentation will vary depending on whether the total available market, TAM, is consumer market or a business market. In the process of market segmentation, in this phase of planning process, the business identify market potential or the TAM. TAM is the total market demand for a product or services. It says thus, how big is the universe? While SAM is the segment of TAM targeted by your products and services within your geographical search. And the target market. Target market represents a group of individuals who have similar needs, perceptions, and interests. Individuals who think on the same lines and have similar preferences from the target audience. It includes individuals who have almost similar expectations from the organization or marketers. It refers to a group of potential customers to whom a company wants to sell its products and services. Kaya siya tinawag na target market. Next. Okay. Targeting is the second stage, and it is done once the markets have been segmented. Once the marketer creates the different segments within the market, he then devises various marketing strategies and promotional schemes according to the taste of the individuals of particular segment. This process is called the targeting. Once market segments are created, organized, then targets them. Why use target marketing strategies? For marketers, segmentation is invaluable because it prompts you to create new product based on the exact want and needs of the customer segment, gives a better understanding on the target audience, and thus makes the company's marketing more effective. It also uses the marketing budget strategically to reduces it because the messaging is specific since na-target mo na siya. So specific. And then puts the consumer first, which is surefire way to attract and retain loyal customers and gain advantages over competitors. And the last stage is positioning. Once the organization decides on its target market, it strives hard to create an image of its product in the minds of the consumer. The marketers create a first impression of the market in the minds of consumer through positioning. Positioning helps organization to create a perception of the product in the minds of target audience. The process of creating an image of product in the minds is called the positioning. Or in a simpler word, positioning helps in creating a perception of a product or service among the consumer. To conclude, the, the STP marketing models means you segment your market, target customer segments with marketing campaigns tailored to their preferences, and adjust your positioning according to their desires and expectations. STP marketing is effective because it focuses on breaking your customer base into smaller groups, allowing you to develop very specific marketing strategies to reach, engage, and target audience. And one of the key points is you should know your target audience well. It is essential for the marketers to first identify the target audience and then understand their needs and preferences. Every individual has varied interests, needs, and preferences. No two individuals can think on the same line. And you should know what your customers expect out of you. Then the products must fulfill the demands of the individuals. And that's all. Thank you. Kong hei pa choy.
Okay, so again, it is also an important part of the marketing. Okay, so the target marketing, so we need to understand its meaning, the basis in its needs, no? Because it is not possible for a marketer to have similar strategies for product promotion amongst all individuals. So kids, no, do not get attracted towards product meant for adults and vice versa. So every segment has a different need, interest, and perception. So no two segments can have the same ideologies or require a similar product. So the target marketing refers to a concept in marketing which helps the marketers to divide the market into small units comprising of like-minded people. So such segmentation helps the marketers to design specific strategies and techniques, no, to promote a product amongst its target market. Because a target market is refers to a group of individuals who are inclined towards similar products and respond to similar marketing techniques and promotional schemes. Okay? So, some company targets individual who wants to cut down on their calorie intake. No? The target market in such a case would be individuals who are obese, like us. No? So, the strategy is designed to promote, for example, a special, no, would not be the same in the case of any other brand, no? So majority, for example, cater to teenager and kids to help them in the overall development, no? Or the target market, for example, of the for example, company A would absolutely be different from company B, no? So the basis for target marketing, of course, is the age, no? Gender, interest, geographic location is also important, yung needs, and occupation. So, why target marketing? So, organization can use similar kind of strategies to promote their products within a target market. So they can adapt a more focused approach in case of target marketing, and they know their customers well and thus can reach out the target audience in the most effective way. So how to create target market? So of course, majority of the organizations must first decide who all individuals would fit into a particular segment. So a male and female can be kept in the same segment. The first and the foremost step is to decide on the target markets. Then the next step is to identify need and preference of the target market. It is essential to find out what the target market expects from the product. And once the target market is decided, the company or organization can decide on the various strategies helpful to promote their products. So maybe somebody are asking, why need to market segmentation or why market segmentation? So a setup where two or more parties, of course, when we say two parties, that is a buyers and a sellers, are engaged in transaction of goods and service in exchange of money is called a market, right? So like for example, for instance, Nokia offers wide range of handset for both males as well as females. And the handset for females would be sleeker and more colorful as compared to the study handset for males. And males generally do not pretty stylish handset and others. No? So again, not all individuals have similar needs. We need to take note on it because a male and female would have a varied interest and liking towards different products. So a kid would not require something which an adult needs. And a school kid would have a different requirements than an officer goer. So market segmentation helps the marketers to bring together individuals with similar choices and interests on a common platform. Okay, so that's why we have what we call marketing segmentation. Okay, so actually we have a lot of steps in market segmentation. Diba? So we have identify the target market, of course, the most important one. Identify expectation of a target audience. Create a subgroups. Review the needs of the target audience. Name your market segment. So give an appropriate name to each segment. It makes implementation of strategies easier. A kid section can have various segments, namely newborn, infants, toddlers, and so on. And another is the marketing strategies. So you need to devise relevant strategies to promote brand amongst each segment. Then review the behavior. So review the behavior of the target audience frequently. It is not necessary individuals would have the same requirements or demand all through the year, because demands vary. Perception change in interest differ. A detailed study of the target audience is essential. Another thing is size of the target market. It is very important and essential, to know the target market size. Collect necessary data for the same. It helps in sales planning and forecasting. Okay, I think that's it for that